Hey everyone, my name is Liz Rodriguez. I'm the Video Communications Manager here at FBA. And with me today, I have Christina Farias. She is a dedicated fitness professional with a passion for helping individuals really achieve their health and wellness goals. She's got a really unique story. She started her LLC back in 2011 and was actually on the road with Fleetwood Mac for 8 years. And really after that, she wanted to be able to build an online business and needed to find the right software company to help her do that. So she started with My PT Hub, and we're going to just be diving in and talking through her experience with growing her business with them. So I'm going to turn it over to Christina. How are you today?
Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm well. I'm really well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. So I just kind of briefly talked about your background, but why don't you talk to the audience a little bit more about you and the fitness industry and how you got started?
So I went to school for exercise science, played field hockey and ice hockey and ultimate frisbee, and got into snowboarding. And they had a really great physical education nutrition department. So I graduated from college in 2007, and I had started teaching group fitness in college. So that was sort of something that was a passion that I was really good at. And it was fun, right? They're telling all your girlfriends to come to fitness classes. And then after college, 3 days later, packed up the car and my chocolate lab and my guinea pig, and I moved from New Hampshire out to Lake Tahoe, where it was the greatest place for wellness. I took a job as a ski conditioning coach, was working in a gym, and I started teaching cycling, TRX, kickboxing, Pilates, yoga. And I was teaching, I think sometimes 30 classes a week.
Wow.
It was wild. And then snowboarding and doing triathlons and literally just burning the candle with so much movement. I think back and I'm tired just thinking about it, and moved to Hawaii because I fell in love with surfing. And the only way I was going to get good at surfing was to surf every day. So my family thought, what are you doing? You're moving to, I'd never even visited Hawaii, packed up my chocolate lab and knew no one, and got a place off Craigslist and moved to Maui. And I would say that was one of the biggest, most wild, most amazing decisions I made, because when I got there, I had no distractions. And for anyone that's been to Hawaii, I started teaching fitness classes at the Westin, the Hyatt, the Sheraton, 4 or 5 resorts. And people come to Hawaii and they're like, oh my God, I haven't been in a bathing suit in years. I am so inspired. It is the most magical place of health. And I had just found my path. And with that led to a deep passion for holistic nutrition. And it was different than the nutrition that I'd studied in college. And aging gracefully became this mantra for my life. How can I be that person that's 40, 50, 60, that people are like, what are you doing? So I stopped drinking. I started studying every single thing I could possibly get my hands on, because there's hormones that were only discovered in 1994, leptin, for example. And I just became a gut health expert, a hormone expert, started cooking, and eventually started a mobile gym. So I had already built my LLC. I had a big old Subaru, and I had people that wanted to pay me to do in-home retreats with them. So this became this beautiful business where I'd move in with someone for a week or two, teach their housekeeper how to grocery shop, help them buy all the little equipment so that they didn't have to leave their house and go to a gym or go to a retreat center. And within 6 months, I had a really amazing clientele in Maui. Flash forward to Mick Fleetwood has a home there. They were getting ready to record a new album. He needed to lose 45 pounds. I was working with some of the investors in his restaurant there in Maui. I wrote up, again, with the limited computer skills I had, I would write up the program for someone's retreat. And 2 weeks later, I was living in Los Angeles working with Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. And I think that you've touched on some really great things. So for the audience, we're going to be diving into some more software questions, but I think with the big takeaway before you go down those routes is that Christina had a really good idea of her brand and what she wanted to create, which is going to continue to evolve. But I think that's really amazing. So let's talk about some of those apps or softwares or pieces of paper and probably Google Docs that you used before you went to My PT Hub. So talk to me about your kind of your journey with tech.
Oh my gosh, I laugh. Admittedly, I have never had a D in my life. My only D I ever got was in college computers. I mean, the thought of doing anything on a computer 7 years ago was, I'd have anxiety just thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was me with, going out and buying a computer. And then
Mm-hmm.
it was, all right, how it was really neat because I had had people I'd worked with in Massachusetts, people I met, living in California and Hawaii. And, everybody was saying, coach me online. And so I was using Microsoft, Word, thinking, okay, how do I send a workout? I need a workout description. I need a workout video. Well, they can't just be workouts because the exercise part is such a huge piece. And then it was, well, how can I give workout and nutrition advice to somebody if I have no idea their health history, if I have no idea their energy output? I don't know what their BMR is, or what their metabolic rate is. It was just so overwhelming. I knew that doing something online was 7 years ago, even, pre-COVID, it was sort of like even doing something like this was odd. So long of the short, I started looking for help because it was like, do I hire someone? Who do I hire? And I was in the gym and I had another trainer who was a friend of mine, and I was showing him what I was doing. And he said, well, I just found this new software and this might be perfect for you. And that I'll never forget that moment, because I went and I jumped on the elliptical and I pulled up my PT Hub and it was like, oh my God, I honestly didn't even know anything like that exists. But one place that could do everything was baffling to me. It was the most amazing thing to ever happen to me in my entire life, for sure, as far as a career,
And so thinking about when you started looking at My PT Hub, obviously it sounded like, you wanted to kind of, we'll say consolidate. So
Yeah.
that was definitely one of the things. But what else in terms of like for your business, what did you want to change when you started working with them?
Yeah. So I really wanted an all-encompassing one-stop shop, but I wanted it to be my app. I didn't want videos of someone demonstrating a move. I didn't want somebody else's meal plans. I didn't want someone else's programs. I didn't want someone else's logo. I didn't want, I wanted this to feel like my app. But what my PT Hub offered, which is the one thing, which when I think about scaling, growth, automating things more so, that one-on-one accountability is the one thing that my PT Hub has offered, because I can message clients. I can see all of their Apple Watch or Fitbit data. I can see their sleep. I can see their heart rate. I can see what they've eaten. I can see the workouts they've done. So with my PT Hub, they've allowed the accountability with endless content creation, abilities, with me building that out. So a trainer could potentially use the videos that my PT Hub has in there for workouts, but I've uploaded hundreds of my own videos from YouTube to my PT Hub. So now if someone is doing a Bosu ball V crunch with a Pilates ring, they see my description and my video demonstration, which I filmed videos all around the world and on tour and gyms, which is really cool. Edited the videos and put it in. And now it gives it that personalized touch. So long-winded way of saying, my PT Hub allowed me to do what most programs don't do. I don't know any programs that offer energy tracking with the Fitbit Apple Watch compatibility, full around the clock messaging with the ability to see if someone's read the message, right? Ability to, I have a 50-week meal prep cookbook completely uploaded into the app. I have hundreds of simple meal plans uploaded into the app. And think something like 1,000 workout videos uploaded into the app with content creation and a full health history in one place on a client and all of their payment processing. So I've been able to build out this full-on lifestyle change app with the software that they've provided.
Mm.
You know, and hundreds of hours of time that, you know, for that D student, you know, I give myself credit. And it's made me patient, because when someone signs up and they're 70 years old and they've never done anything online,
Mm-hmm.
they have access to a full support system. The, you know, support tab of, you know, I can send them a link with a video of any question they might have. And I can say, hey, some days you're going to want to throw your computer at the wall. You know, you're not going to hit save. And I am so empathetic. So put your phone away, and tomorrow's a new day, you know, because it's a lot, you know, online coaching, online training, you know, why wouldn't someone just go hire a personal trainer? You know, well,
Yeah.
we're in a different time now. They have their trainer in the living room or on their iPad, or, you know.
Yeah. And you definitely touched on some good things, but talk to me just in terms of kind of, it sounded like it was a big game changer, having the software, being able to adapt it to your needs. Talk to me about how that affected, your business revenue.
Revenue stream, it's been a game changer, you know,
Mm.
because now people can subscribe to a monthly program. My PT Hub has been able to offer me a platform for being a coach for the long term. I have clients I've been with for 6 years,
Oh, that's
you know,
amazing.
and sometimes I don't see them every week, you know, but I'm there, you know, and I can see they're moving, I can see what they're doing. So it's allowed me to make a lot of money, um, you know, and to really be successful and independent. And for people who don't want to be in one place, you know, I've been traveling for 8 months. You know, I have a home base, but I worked from Europe all summer. I've worked from the mountains all winter. It's complete flexibility. You know,
Mm.
it's something that most people, you know, every time I walk into a gym and see a trainer, you know, sitting there, I think, oh my God, they've probably been here since 6 a.m.
Mhm.
hustling to give this gym half their money. And they're wondering, you know, when's my next client going to come? You know, and what I found is when someone is showing up to a gym, they probably didn't want to go, but they're there because they're paying you. And
Mhm.
they might be very uncomfortable. And if you start asking about nutrition, they're definitely going to be an uncomfortable situation. So what I worried about with online coaching was losing the one-on-one, looking in someone's eye and having them feel your energy, or have you sitting there saying, you know, one more rep or breathe, you know. But what I found is now I'm talking to someone on their time,
Mhm.
their safe space. And the connections that I have with clients, I mean, I don't think I have a client that doesn't say I love you when they get off the phone, you know, that I've been with for long. So I still think to myself, oh my God, people are not only paying me, they're showing up to talk about food on a Friday, you know. So it's wild. It's been so cool to find an online platform that's worked for me, you know, to make money in an industry that I think is really hard to make money in.
Totally, totally. And, you've touched on some things, but I'd love to hear a little bit more about, parts of the software that you were just really surprised that really helped you manage your business. You mentioned in the beginning, things like automation and the communication and things like that, but just to kind of bring it back a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been with my PT Hub through a lot of changes. How often do I even have to seek out for support? It's been probably a year now. In the beginning, there was a lot more kinks, and I don't know statistically if I'm one of the first users or the first people to kind of take the app and run.
Mhm.
But when they did the relaunch a few years ago, the update, it was a game changer,
Mhm.
on so many levels. The Apple Watch integration, which is huge. Um, and then there's been messaging updates. There's been so many updates that have made it better and better and better. Um,
Mhm.
I would say being able to take my own workouts and put in the videos was something that was so cool,
Yeah.
because I don't want someone to see Jimmy doing a, a pistol squat. I want them to see me, you
Yeah.
know. So that was really cool. One of my favorite updates that they've done. Um, Another thing that's so absolutely wonderful is their food logging database. The
Hmm.
food scanning, the database, the ability for someone to create templates and save meals for creating, ease. And then I can also go in and put in my own recipes
Hmm.
and create templates for them to make it really easy. So
Yeah.
I teach, in my program, if someone gets all options, do they want to do flexible dieting and hit their macros and eat what they want? Well, everybody needs to learn that. That's
Mhm.
learning nutrient composition. Do they want me to give them meal prep recipes for batch cooking that they make? Or and I also give them clean plans where here's a very, very simple way of creating these clean meals to hit your numbers. And then the fourth thing they learned is, well, let's create some sort of consistency with a meal plan and follow that. So
Mhm.
with my PT Hub, every week I'm able to give them a flexible dieting template, a meal prep recipe template with the recipes, and a clean plan. So they have every single option they can possibly have,
Mhm.
which has been really huge, with the ability to add my own foods or add my own recipes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
awesome. And then, like last question for you, what would you tell others when in terms of recommending, My PT Hub for their business needs?
there's nothing more rewarding in the world than having something that you've built. So my suggestion would be, create the time, avoid the distractions,
Mhm.
and just do it.
Mhm.
And there are the resources out there. And my PT Hub is killer. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this was super fun today, Christina. I really appreciate you taking the time and talking about my PT Hub and really just sharing, I think, your overall experience, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for those of you guys listening in, if you're looking for more information about my PT Hub, just go ahead and fill out the brief web form under the About My PT Hub section, right where this case study is playing. Until next time, everyone, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.